Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. I'm going to jump in the queue here and go watch. I happen to notice Ex-Yatsuba playing Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy I haven't seen online in a while, and these two are both very strong players, well ahead of me, and so I expect that the two of them playing will be interesting. And we see some asymmetry already. Yatsuba preferring to get a kit to line up with his Zamora, while Mr. Guy is just building attackers and staying somewhat breach-proof. Right, like, Rectifiers are not breach-proof, but they're not, like, horrible to have when you're getting breached. So, you know, compared to, say, Tarsiers. So it may well be that Yatsuba like cashes in his endotherm kit to kill a rectifier or two or something like that. But if I had to guess, probably not. Like, do you kill conduits in this situation instead? No, that doesn't seem right. I don't know. Alternatively, like, I don't know. First of all, by the way, I'm really hoping we get matched before these two guys figure it out, because it would be nice to get matched against someone I have a reasonable chance of beating. Not that it's impossible to beat either of them, like as you saw somewhat recently. I think last game I beat Ex-Yatsuba, right? That was the last game? Massive Mammal. The last 2 days worth of episodes I accidentally uploaded a day early. So I planned to have a video for tomorrow, and I wouldn't have to record tonight, but I don't have one. And I felt bad about saying, like, oh, well, you can't have a video today because 2 days ago I uploaded a video early. So I'm coming in to record a game tonight. I don't have a ton of time, so hopefully not a super long game. But should be enough time for one game. Breach me if you dare. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess, like, it's... Is he actually going breach-proof, like, starting now? I guess he must be, because there's just no way you build enough defenses in a big hurry to deal with, like, the threat of this endotherm kit. So I think that's part of why Mr. Guy bought a Gauss cannon instead of, like, trying to buy more rectifiers, is he doesn't plan to defend beyond this turn. This turn, it's like kind of cheap. You just hold a drone to defend. And okay, your rectifier being damaged is kind of still going to matter because they'll happily breach a 3 health rectifier. But whereas like next turn, defending is pretty much impossible. It must be, right? There's no way he could do it. Yeah. Given he has almost no tech. Ooh, Rager, huh? Is that good? Dealing 4 damage to a rectifier and killing a drone might well be worth something, I think. But, I don't know. I mean, the attack numbers right now are like 9 plus Zamora versus 5, 7 plus Zamora. Okay, no, he's gonna try to get the kill on this rectifier, I predict. Oh, there is no try. Alright, he's gonna do it. What do you want next turn that's worth holding 2 drones for this turn? Like, it saves you 1 green, you can feral or something. I guess it's just pretty expensive to... Anyway, I'm excited to see how this, like, breach-proof thing works. When opponent's getting first Zamora, it feels like it's going to be tough. Like, they can kill all your conduits and you still fire Zamora, but only barely. Okay, well now it's like you definitely can fire it almost certainly multiple times in a row. Now, actually, certainly. Whereas I guess Yatsuba may have trouble doing that. Not really. He only has to build 2 conduits this turn. But how do you defend? Yeah. Breaching for the rectifiers is... Like I said, they're decent targets to breach, but not amazing. This one was amazing. The other 2 are like, meh. You might prefer to be going for a conduit, honestly. But I think unless Mr. Guy can do something pretty killing in response, his like excess of green and drones and like these breach-proof Gauss cannons might carry him. See, like this is kind of a problem for Yatsuba. Even only attacking for 11 is like quite a bit. Well, I don't know, you can just defend, right? Kill all the drones next turn? Defending's pretty hard, I guess. Since you need to also fire Zamora, right? Doing both of those things is very difficult. Yeah. Yikes. I think Mr. Guy's gonna get there. Are there any other games live? I'd be interested to see if anyone else is close to finishing and maybe we get matched with them instead. Yeah, Meowth and Alexander Johann, maybe. But let's keep watching this one and see how it ends. What if you hold a feral instead of a rhino? Yeah. This lets you fire everything a second time. Maybe that's enough. Oh man, but he actually just gets to add more stuff. That's gross. Yeah, that's just evil. It doesn't look like all that much, right? 6 attackers and a Zamora. But, you know, compare it to, like, over here, 6 attackers and a Zamora. But these attackers are way beefier, and there's more drones here as well. I just don't see how you possibly defend. And it's not like you can kill 7 conduits or whatever you'd have to do. Okay, Yatsuba defending enough to keep his conduits alive. But Mr. Guy is just going to add another Gauss cannon. And then breach all the ferals. Yeah. Alright, let me grab this and... Nope, too late. We got Yatsuba. Alright. Base plus 10, 60 seconds. So there's a lot of pretty big stuff. Both absorb and soak. And there's also like a fair amount of threat. Mostly Nevo and Tia, but like also kind of Ice Blade. And in a way, ISO, like you could sync up your damage so that the opponent's big absorber doesn't matter as much. But they have big soak too. They won't mind that, I don't think. Oh, also Windsor. Like, do you get that? It could be okay. But like when they have Infusion Grid and Polywall, is it really like that big a deal? It's good to exploit Doomed mechs if you like hold Windsor when they're holding Doomed mech. But I suspect attack numbers will be high enough that like that's not that amazing. But more importantly, I think like Windsor is just a good unit to buy before you start on like whatever else you want to do. And I think we're like definitely headed up to Centurion. So like Windsor, and then like Centurion and Doomed mechs. You're gonna want a Tia at some point, I'm pretty sure. Although maybe not when you have a Windsor. If you ever get a chance to buy like a killer Tia, of course, you buy it. And I feel like there should be such a chance. But I'm not sure exactly when. Maybe there's enough soak that you actually just can't get a killing blow that easily. That way. So I don't know. Keep an eye on Tia, I guess. But we're not like doing anything crazy like rushing for it. I think I might honestly get a 4th engineer with Galvani. But maybe not. Like you want to be able... Oh, also I can't. Right. I mean, not now anyway, and doing it later would be silly. Yeah, so opponent wants to get a Windsor pretty soon, which seems quite reasonable to me. I'll have to get mine 1 turn later. Kind of a bummer, but there you are. I don't know. Is it 1 turn later? Like, I'm not sure. This is just sort of the natural way for me to tech out. And I guess he could go BBA, but I feel like that would be way too fast. So it's going to be a while before either of us gets a Windsor. Really? Why? I don't see any need to be so violent. With Polywall and Grid in the set? Like, I don't know. I don't care that much, do I? Oh! Ice Blades? No, why did he get the green then? Ice Blades and Nevo? Tia? Windsor and then Tia? I feel like I'm okay against that. Yeah, I think I do want this Engie. At worst, it's a Galvani, and at best, I can actually buy a real drone with it. Next turn, get BA, and then after that, a Windsor. Should this grid be a splitter so I can just pick away at the Galvanis a bit? I don't think so, because next turn I'm gonna want to be defending, and a grid will be better at that than a splitter. And if I buy a splitter, then I have to buy a wall instead, and I think he'll be able to make that not so great for me. There are the Ice Blades. Polywall? Is that crazy? Like, if he freezes this, I'm pretty sad. Obviously. But I feel like these Ice Blades open him up to some exploits. I just have to buy a lot of soak and then eventually win, don't I? Against these Wincers? Wincer clicks? I don't think he can really exploit a Polywall. He can't add 3 attack easily at all. And that's like the turn he would want to fire Wincer anyway. Okay. Oh, is he gonna Tia? He is. No. He does have a lot of freeze here. Like, I'm not getting a Centurion, but that's fine, right? So his actual freeze threat is like... These 2 freeze here, this freezes first. Well, he can freeze 2 polys, but he can't freeze 2 polys and this. So the most he can freeze for is 6 plus 6 is 12. Still a lot. Wow. God, Nevo's the worst. And he does sort of deny absorb? Not really. I feel pretty bad about my red, though. I guess he just clicks down the polywalls and freezes the infusion grid and I get no absorb? That's a bummer. So I guess I don't want another Galvani. Alright, well, let's try to win this game without ever attacking. What do you say? It's not really doing anything. I think he should actually click the Wincer and do some damage. But I don't know. Yeah, there we go. That's the right freeze, actually. I guess that's pretty similar to what I described. But just like he has no drones. He has to kill me very quickly. I can't... My polywalls are kind of bad right now. Because he can just click them down. But on the other hand, like, I'm not getting absorb anyway with my infusion grid, so... Maybe it's fine. So what is he actually freezing here? Like, basically he freezes this and this, and still has 3 more things to freeze. That's all of this? I don't know. How's this doing? He can freeze both of these and this and still attack for 7. That defends, but doesn't seem great. 3, 5, 7. So this is exactly no absorb. Rhino actually does it. Doesn't really seem very good though, does it? I'm not actually absorbing anything, but I just have a lot of drones. Maybe that's how I win. I don't know. Like, at some point, he's just killing one polywall per turn and adding some more threat. And I can handle losing one polywall per turn, no problem. Right? I'm building 2 per turn, as you can see. Okay. Now, like, he freezes this. Well, this defends and absorbs, right? No, he just kills all these guys, so... The Centurion, like, kind of sucks. Because he's just gonna freeze it. But it buys me some defensive tempo, in a way, I think. And lets me start killing his income. Just like it attacks for 2 and buys me defensive tempo, even though it's not absorbing, that's something. I do think, though, if he clicks Windsor and doesn't kill me with it, I'm gonna be okay. I haven't calculated whether that's what's actually gonna happen. He might not click Windsor, or he might click Windsor and kill me with it. Both of those would kind of be a problem. Maybe. I think that's correct, right? Since I'm not absorbing anyway. I think we want these. I mean, it kind of seems like he has a lot of freeze, doesn't he? That's how I would assess the situation. He uses the Ice Blades. Like, can he kill Centurion? That's the main question. The Nevos each freeze one of these. And then he has 2 Ice Blades freeze here. He has 6 more Ice Blades. So he can't actually freeze all the polywalls. But he can still freeze, like, 12... more than that, right? He can freeze a lot. Enough that I don't think the Centurion lives. Yeah, certainly he can freeze at least 12, and that's a breach. So, what to do instead? How's this? He has a lot less freeze this way, too, actually. Ugh, I can't figure it out. 6. I think this lives. Although it does... It no longer has inevitability. It's not so clear that I'll survive after this. But I think the Centurion might live through this. Yeah. No! Why? Stop! Alright. Well, it was worth a try. I really undervalue Nevo. And also, I don't understand Ice Blades at all, so... I just didn't... I still don't understand why this was any good. Like, looking at the results, I can see, like, gosh... Windsor, Ice Blades, and Nevos are a lot of threat, and even with all this soak, it's hard to, like, do stuff. But I kind of thought that I would have enough breaks on the non-Windsor turns to, like, get some attack out. And that I could maybe absorb somehow. But this never actually happened. He got the Ice Blades out, like... fast enough that, like, the grid itself wasn't threatening to defend. And then I could just never have enough stuff. And all his attack was, like, actually killing my units. So, like, the idea that I have a big absorber is sort of a mirage. I don't know, maybe if I hadn't gotten this Animus, I could have had a chance. Like, that was a lot of money that I spent on, like, doing nothing, basically. I got a Centurion, but it didn't matter. I don't think I had a chance without it. I think what opponent did was just, like, really good. So, like, also noteworthy, and something I didn't really pay attention to, is that the defense that I, like, saw when I looked at this set is all kind of bad against freeze. Right? Like, Doomed Mech, Centurion, Polywall. These kind of have an issue with freeze, each in their own way, right? Like, Doomed Mech expires, and can then be frozen. Polywall is not exactly vulnerable to freezing, but if you're defending with Polywall, they can freeze the thing you are, like, trying to absorb with. And then Polywall is not available as like a backup absorber in the way that, like, a second Infusion Grid might be. And of course Centurion is vulnerable to freeze because they can deny the value of absorbing with it, and they can also threaten to breach it by freezing other stuff. Infusion Grid doesn't seem as vulnerable to freeze to me, except in that it has 4 health, which makes Nevo better against it and Ice Blades great against it compared to Wall as sort of the baseline. Like, both of those units are better here if you have Grid than if you have Wall. So maybe I should have just... What if I just gotten a Wall here? I got the Polywall thinking, like, I'll want a lot of defense for the Windsor turn. And actually, that was kind of true. I was thinking maybe Wall was good because then I still absorb on this turn. And then later, my Polywall is not so exploitable. But I needed, like, all the defense I could get just to be alive, right? So getting that Polywall early seems no worse than the alternatives. I don't know, all throughout this, I did still kind of have the hope that I could live through the last Windsor click. And if I had, that would have been good. But as you can see, I was, like, well short of actually doing that. An opponent still has, like, 10 attack and a ton of freeze against my, like, basically Centurion plus a few drones. So I don't know. I just don't see things like this. How do you look at this set and say, ah, that's what I should do? Buy Windsor and all the freeze. I thought Tia was really important here. Do you just, like, file away, hey, by the way, Windsor's pretty great with freeze? Even if I knew that, I don't think I would have gone for this line. I don't know. I guess it's, like, a pretty natural fastest possible Windsor. I just, like, don't look at this set and see fastest possible Windsor as a thing. It seems like there's enough defense that you can get a somewhat slower Windsor and be happy. I guess even more than, like, it's good with freeze is... Look how well the tech for Windsor lines up with the tech for Ice Blades, right? You get up to having a Windsor, and then you can spend all your red and blue on Ice Blades quite comfortably. And you accumulate some green, and on the pressure turns, you turn that into Nevos. right? So like recognizing that not only is it freeze, it's like freeze that fits really well with a lowish econ Windsor. I don't know. That's the kind of insights that like I don't understand how to have. That's why he's number 3 on the leaderboard, and my number has a 3 in it. I guess. Does it still have a 3 in it? It does. Okay. Well. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.